biohacking, performance, mastery, mindset, holistic health. This is a show about getting better every single day. I'm on a mission, guys, to help over 1 million people get healthy and lose weight. Why? Because when you lose weight and get healthy, you have higher self-esteem. You have more self-confidence. And that person goes out and crushes their goal and starts living the highest version of themselves, and then they have way more impact on the world. All right, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another Mindset and Motivation Monday. You know, this week I want to talk about success and why it loves speed, actually. And it seems like, what are you talking about, Joel? Like, I mean, success is a slow process, right? It takes time, it takes energy, it takes mastery. And yes, all these things are true, but I think there is a iterative process, and we're going to learn today how we can speed up the growth cycle. And I'm going to build off of this because then next week I'm going to talk about actually the 4 levels of success and what that looks like. And then again, it's going to kind of build onto like, how do we do this in a much faster process? So believe it or not, success actually does love speed. Before I jump into this episode, I just want to make a quick announcement. A couple of things. One, if you're not on my email list, go to www.joelevancoaching.com and sign up for my newsletter, because every week I like to send out just kind of a recap for the week, anything that's new or any gear that I'm using. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of content is being censored. And so this is one way that I can actually stay in contact with all my listeners. The podcast is actually a really great way too, but it's just a nice way for me to just stay in contact with you guys. And then secondly, on top of the whole Mindset and Motivation Monday, I just created a template. I'm working on a book, and so this is like kind of the beginnings of this book, but I talk about the 10 top mindsets I think that you need to be successful either in life and really to stick to any type of diet that you're doing. And I see it with all of my clients, and I'm like, wow, these are the top 10 mindsets that I see being distilled over time, that if you have these, you're going to be bulletproof. And so if you want that, simply reach out to me. You can shoot me a DM at Joel Evan Coaching. You can simply email me, info@joelevancoaching.com, and I will get that over to you. Okay. So let's jump in to the reasons why success loves speed. Now, here's the thing, guys. When we look at the growth cycle, right? When we look at like what it means to grow, right? We look at it, and first we have to have direction. We have to have clarity in like, what are we going to do? What does that look like, right? And then we actually need to take action. Then we need to reflect on our actions. And then we need to correct our actions. That is how growth happens, right? If you're looking at a circle, where's your plan? Clarity. This is the goal. This is what I want. Taking action. Boom. Then reflect on your actions. Is what you're doing working? And then correct those actions. And then we just keep doing this process over and over again. Now, here's kind of a good recipe to thinking of like, hey, if you're getting started and you're looking for clarity and you're trying to figure out like, how do you get started with your goal? Like, number one is, where do you want to end up? Ask yourself that. Number 2, ask yourself this: who do you know that has accomplished something similar that could teach you about the actions to take? That's just going to speed up your process, right? Tony Robbins always talks about this, find a mentor, find someone who's already done it. If you don't know anybody, who do you know that might know someone that could introduce you? That always happens. Your network is your net worth. So many times I've reached out to other people who know somebody, and I'm just telling them like, this is what I'm going through. And they're like, oh, you should meet my friend so-and-so. I'm like, oh, why didn't I ask? Like, the world is abundant in that nature. And when you ask, you shall receive. It's like that proverb, right? And so ask others. People do want to help. They want to connect you, especially if you're putting out good energy. And if that still doesn't work, well, then of course we have all these resources. And think about that. What resources do you have? YouTube, books, podcasts like this, Google, right? Now, we all know that growth, it's an iterative process, right? We have to go through these iterative loops of creating direction, taking some actions, failing a bunch, reviewing the action, adjusting the direction, and then improving that action and so forth, right? The problem is this: most of us go through these action steps really, really slowly. We want to be safe. We want to be careful. And if you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook, I'm going to throw up a chart. And this kind of shows you like where we're at right now with, our growth process. And it looks basically like a stair step. So for those of you that are watching live on other channels, you may not be able to see this, but it looks like this stair step model, right? And we've all been taught this, right? Growth is slow over time. This is what you have to do to grow. You take some steps and you take some actions and then you start to build, and it looks like this. And eventually you're going to get there. You're going to be successful, right? That's all the charts we've all been seeing. And we've learned this in school, right? We've learned that it's okay to go through growth very slowly. We want to be safe. We want to be careful. Take your time, go slowly, get it perfect. But the problem with that is, yes, your growth it's good, but it's slow and it's steady. And so you might go through this cycle every few months. Whenever you make an adjustment or in your life, you might start to go through it. But here's the thing, you can get to your goal that way, but it's just going to take a long time. And so I think many of us want to get there faster. And so if you want to speed up this process, I'm going to share with you something that Ray Dalio, one of the most famous investors of all time, who's like survived all the crashes, and he talks about this growth cycle and how you can actually speed it up and you can condense your learning curve into a shorter period of time. And so what your growth process is going to look like is these little loops. And so again, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on some of the other channels, you can see this. And so the growth, imagine a linear line. So instead of doing this stair step model that we're all used to, imagine just a straight line, and you you have an audacious goal. You take action and then you fail. You take action, you fail, but you do it really quickly. You fail, and you keep taking these actions. Instead of your stair step model, your growth curve starts to look like these little loops, and it just keeps going up, 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 and up. That is how you speed up your success. Take action, fail fast. James Altucher talks about this. He's a famous best-selling author. I interviewed him on my podcast, The Hack Life. It's an older episode. I can't even remember what number it is, but we talk about this, and he talks about it in his book called Skip the Line. And he talks about you don't need 10,000 hours. That whole 10,000 hour rule is BS. He said, if you want to skip that process, you want to skip the line and get ahead in life, you just need to start moving a lot faster. You need to fail faster, run an experiment, fail, run another experiment, and see what's working, what's not. And then you can iterate. So if you want to stretch it out longer, by all means, you can do this. You can take longer. But the only thing, guys, and think about this, what is forcing you? What is keeping you from doing this iterative process? What is preventing you from doing this? Why not just keep, you're like, that's amazing, Joel. Like, of course. Yeah. Like, listen, I want to speed success. I want to be successful. I want to go there faster. What's stopping you from doing that? And for most of us, it's fear. It's the fear of messing up. It's the fear of imperfection. It's the fear of getting it right. The fear of judgment, the fear of criticism, right? And none of that fear is worth it. So when you feel yourself, you're starting to delay and you're starting to go into this next stage of in this cycle, go into those fears. I talk a lot about this in this idea of fear journaling, and I work with a lot of my private clients. I tell them to really do this. And actually, I just an article just got published. I'll link it in the episode by Sarah Moss, and she reached out, and I was part of this, the 13 best morning habits. And I talk about this idea of fear journaling. So you can check that out. She's part of, I think, the Lifestyle Times on Medium. And she just published this article. So I'll share that with you guys. But, we talk about this idea of fear journaling. And so, really dive into your deep fears. You can do all the gratitude work you want, but if you got these fears that are overwhelming, that are stuck in your head, you're not going to go anywhere. And you're going to be staying in this growth. You're going to be staying stuck in these plateaus of like the stair stepper model. You're going to be staying in that process for a long time. We want to move you there. We want to get you there faster. So success loves speed, guys, believe it or not. Success loves speed. Use those iterative loops, get there faster. I hope this was helpful for you. Happy Monday. Let's go get it. I know it's summertime and everybody's enjoying themselves, but let's go get it. Let's make something happen this week. Whatever your big, hairy, audacious goal is, I want to hear about it. Send me a comment, send me anything, and let me know if I can help you reach those goals and get you there. Have an amazing start of the week. It's just an update for this week. What you're going to see is part 2 of my episode with Keith Morey is going to release tomorrow. We talk a lot about, that was a monster episode talking about the 7 signs of a fungal infection, that you might have one. We talk about the 3 causes of disease, which are huge. I think anybody that didn't hear this one, you're going to want to hear it. He talks about root canals. If you got that, you better fix that. He talks about low body temperature and fungal infections, and there's so much more. We also talk about the powerful detox supplement, MSM. It's an over-the-counter joint supplement. That's what we've all been told, but Keith has found out a really amazing way to make it so that it's powerful. And he just said, you're not taking the right dosage and you don't know how to do it. And if you actually do it correctly, you're going to alter your detox, you're going to enhance your detox pathways, and it's going to be very helpful. So we're going to talk about that Wednesday, Weight Loss Wednesday. I'm going to get into some cool things I think about cholesterol, because I think it's been totally, the myths are out there and I'm just tired of hearing them. And so a lot of good things come up this week. I'm excited. Have an amazing week, guys. I will catch you later.